As it relates to pain in your life, most people assume that pain, that means that something is wrong. But what if it means that something needs to be worked on? Look, your pain can be loud and it can be deafening, but its purpose is often hidden and it comes in a whisper. But here's the thing, if you don't take time to listen to the whisper, all you're going to do is feel the weight of your pain. So today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why your pain might mean you're looking for a different purpose in your life. Let's talk about those 3 things, Josh, that might be a reason why people are experiencing pain in their lives.
Okay. What you got for me? What are you thinking? What are you thinking today?
I know. So the first is that pain really is coming up because there are certain things in your life that you're avoiding. Oh, it sounds like you can relate to that one based on that reaction.
Yeah, we all try to avoid. We all try to avoid some things that could be painful.
Like unresolved wounds, maybe.
Yeah, unresolved wounds, unresolved issues,
Misaligned opportunities.
experiences.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
false senses of security.
Yep.
So what do you think about that comment? So basically, pain's coming up because you're avoiding things in your life.
That's not a unfair assessment or statement to make, I don't believe, because I think there's a lot of things that cause us pain, and we're scared to make that change because of the cause of pain that we may cause to ourselves, to others, whatever it may be.
I know that when I was dealing with my pain, part of it was the fact that my dad had somewhat of a terminal illness. He had Parkinson's, and I just didn't deal with it.
Yeah, when you don't deal with the fact that someone you love and care about is dying in front of you, and then you have to lay them to rest, that's a lot of unresolved issues.
Yeah, and you people out there, right?
You need to remember that it leads to other problems.
It does, yeah. And you people out there, you're going to have different reasons for your pain, right? But make sure you're identifying the underlying cause of that, right? And make sure you're addressing it the right way.
Well,
I certainly did, and I know I kind of went to drinking a little bit more. Ironically, or not ironically, you were obviously kind of, I think, drinking. Well, I'm not going to speak for you, but you were drinking for what reason? Do you think you had some unresolved conflict?
Oh, there was boatloads of unresolved conflict.
Yeah.
That was a big part of it. There was the unresolved conflict. There was a lot of issues. And a lot of them I've realized in sobriety that they weren't really issues. They were just things that I had to look at from a different vantage point. A lot of my pain was just seeing things from the wrong perspective. And that's kind of on me. And that's the thing we don't realize is we bring things upon ourselves so many times because we don't have the sense to ask the questions to get the clarity of the answers we need to understand the direction we should be going.
Yeah.
That's what creates the issue.
Did you think you had more clarity when you were drinking?
Oh yeah, way more clarity. I had so much clarity, man. I could have told you I could have ran the world. I had all kinds of great ideas.
At least you thought that was the case, right? Sorry, I'm not trying to make light of the fact.
Oh, I have to, dude. It's hilarious to me because I had all the answers when I was drinking.
Well, I think a lot of people do, though. Right?
Yeah, I had everything figured out. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, well, and it does create, I would tell you that drinking for me, it created a false sense of security.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean,
for me, it was great because I just didn't have problems. I never had any problems when I drank. That's how it worked.
Right? I mean,
if I had a problem, I drank. If I drank it away, it wasn't a problem, then there was no issue. I didn't have anything I had to deal with.
So you woke up the next morning, right?
And then I just drank a little bit more, and it was fine.
Yeah.
It just went away.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the best solution.
It never worked that way.
Just for the record, if you didn't hear it, he said it never worked. So.
It never worked that way. Everything was amplified tenfold the next day, and I went, what did I do? I did, yeah. Well, so I added more problems. I just compounded the issues.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. I think sometimes we do that when we actually avoid the problems themselves, right?
That's exactly my point of all of that, is
Yeah.
that's what I did. Instead of addressing the problem and trying to figure out the solution, I drank the problem away.
Yeah.
That was my logic. As long as I drank it away, it wasn't a problem.
So again, pain does expose those things you're avoiding. The second thing that pain might do is, look, let me back up. Comfort, it keeps you moving in a certain direction, right? But pain, it can stop you right in your tracks, and sometimes it's exactly what needs to happen. Halt, stop, do not go. Was that Monopoly board?
Yeah,
right?
Do not pass go, do not collect $200, go straight to jail, you're done.
Yeah. It can stop you right in your tracks, and again, it's a redirection. We talked about this in our last video, right?
It can be. I mean, depends on how you look at it.
Did you feel like you got stopped in your tracks with your pain? at some point in time in your walk, in your journey? I know for me, let me just tell you, man, boom, I was like done, stopped, it was in a bad spot, but I tell you what, I needed to be stopped.
Yeah, and
You know,
see,
I needed that redirection.
for me, I don't know. I learned things the hard way. I probably had that moment, and then I just drove right on by.
I don't know if you drove right on by, but
Being honest, I
yeah.
had that moment.
I'm going to tell you where you got stopped in your tracks, when you actually dropped to your knees, when you found out you were going 162 miles on a bike after downing
That
2 crowns of
2 fists of crown, that'll
2
do
fists
it.
of crown. You dropped to your knees. I think that you can tell me in that moment you got stopped in your tracks right there.
For
right?
sure. But what I'm saying is there were other things that happened before that point, and that's what I mean.
And you ignored them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was getting at. By I drove right by him.
I got
There
you.
was other things that were like, hey,
Stop signs.
there was this. Then there was
I had the same
this.
thing. Yep.
Then there was
I
that.
had the same thing. Yeah.
And then there was really, and then
Yeah.
there was the sock in the face, and
Yep.
it was like, okay.
Yep.
And that's what I meant by that. I didn't mean that I didn't have that hello moment. I mean, I should have had that hello moment a lot sooner. There were things popping up in my life that were saying hello,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
and it just kept getting louder
Yeah.
and louder. And what I mean by louder and louder
That's
is
good. That's
what
good.
I mean by that is the consequences kept getting larger and larger. First, it went from a consequence of a slap on the wrist. Then it went to a consequence of, ooh, a little bit more, some fines. You know, and that's what I'm saying. It slowly grew, and it took a large instance for me to realize. And that's the problem, is because you're masking that pain.
Could I have a question for the audience out there? So, have you been slapped on the wrist? Have you been slapped on the back? Have you been slapped in the head? Are you ignoring all those? Are you waiting for the boulder to drop on your head?
Right.
Right? So where are you right now? You might have God kind of tapping on your shoulder like, don't stop, and you're ignoring it. Right?
I did.
Yeah. So did I.
I did.
So did I.
And it's funny because I've had time to revisit those moments and look back at them and go, huh, that didn't tell me. That didn't tell me. And that didn't tell me?
Yeah.
How stupid was I in those times?
Well, look at it. I wasn't stupid. The fact of the matter is I just wanted to ignore it. I chose to ignore the signs. I literally, I remember thinking, I don't need to worry about that.
But the question is, did you choose to ignore the signs, or did you choose to ignore the fact that there was a problem?
Yes,
Because
yes.
those are very different things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because I chose to ignore the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I picked up on the signs, I probably would have addressed the problem. So,
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
So
good
for me,
question.
it was like, whatever. What? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, this really is a problem.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Are you ignoring the signs, or are you ignoring the problem
Good
altogether?
question to ask, yeah.
Because if you are, well, maybe you need to take a couple steps back and take a little revisit and change your perspective. Because once you do that, you might start going, wow. Oh, wow, those signs were there long before I actually got hold of it.
Yeah.
So those consequences were all my own fault. And taking accountability is a huge step in the right direction to recognizing those things.
No doubt about it. So again, to Josh's question, are you ignoring the signs or ignoring the problem? Which one? Or maybe you're
It's
ignoring
both. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so-
maybe it's both.
So, and again, this is where that whisper comes in to ask yourself, what's the purpose here, right? What's the purpose?
Yep.
Got to spend some time figuring that out. You got to
What's
dig
the
deep.
reason? There's always a reason for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to dig in deep to figure out what that reason is.
And on that note, the third reason why is you might be going through your pain is, look, there might be a part of you that needs to be changed or strengthened that you didn't know needed to change, right? I mean, there might be an attribute within you that it needed to be enhanced.
And that's always true. I mean, if you think about life in general, every day we're supposed to be learning.
Growth to the grave, man.
Every day you're supposed to learn something new. So
Yeah.
if you're not growing and learning, then what are you doing? You're staying stagnant.
Yep.
Once you get stagnant, that's when things start to get stinky and foul, right?
Yeah, it festers. Yeah, when things tend to sit, they tend to fester. So are you sitting right now? Are you wallowing in your pain right now, not realizing that this could be an opportunity for growth? Right?
Like legitimate growth.
I mean, literally, if you change,
If you're in that stagnant place, there's a reason. Stop blaming outside factors and start looking at yourself. Because that seems to be the problem with the world we live in today, is we want to point blame everywhere but at ourselves.
Is that because it's so easy to do that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If I can blame you for my problems, then I don't have to look at myself and change anything, because
Truth.
you're the problem.
Truth.
I don't need to grow anymore because you need to grow. And that's what we constantly see nowadays is instead of people going, you know what, maybe I am the problem, it's no, you're the problem. No, I don't need to change. You need to change. You need to follow what I say because I'm right.
That's right.
Not, wow, your life is a little bit better than mine. Maybe I shouldn't be nagging you about that, and maybe I should be asking you, how did your life get a little bit better than mine? What did you do differently?
Yeah. And you know what? And candidly, that pain, it might be a discipline thing from God. And there is a verse in Hebrews that goes, no discipline at the time feels good, but rather painful. However, later on, it produces a harvestness of peace and righteousness for those who are instructed by it. So, again, in God, guess what? God disciplines the people that he loves.
Well, and it's kind of like you always wondered why your parents spanked you. Well, let's see. If I do this, this is the outcome. If I do A, B is going to happen. Well, I didn't like the outcome of B. So how about I do C and see if I get D's outcome to be better? You know, it's that, wow, this hurt, this sucked. Maybe I shouldn't do it that way again.
Yep.
It's picking up on that too. You need to see your faults and flaws in things too. It's not everyone else's fault or flaw that's brought you to where you are.
And I think that if you do that, I mean, that's one of the best ways to get better is self-reflecting and calling yourself out versus having somebody else call you out.
Because that's how I got better, was looking at what I was doing and looking at the outcomes that were going to happen if I continued down that path. And not a one of them was a positive one.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you that you can be pretty direct with people and pretty hard on people, but I would submit that if that's the case, you're probably harder on yourself.
And you know, the thing that I laugh about too is people just don't want to hear the truth.
It's true.
The truth, that when they tell you the truth hurts, it does.
The problem is that they want their own truth.
Exactly. And it's like, that's not the real truth. This is the reality you're choosing. And when you hit them with that reality, they tend to push back. And I've gotten to a point in my life where it's like, you know what, you can push back all you want. My life is good. I like where I'm at. I'm happy with who I've become, and I'm happy where I'm going. So you can listen to the way I got there, or you can listen to yourself, but your ways got you where you are, and my ways might get you where you want to be.
That's right. So remember, your pain and the purpose, or also your purpose behind your pain, it's often hidden, and it comes in a whisper. So here's a call to action. Take some time to reflect on why you might be going through the pain, knowing that there's a bigger purpose. Again, this has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
We're here to help you find the beauty
In the darkness.
And again, if you found that light,
please show your glow to the rest of the world.
check you out in the next video.
See you guys.